Big up DJ Soca Monarch. Taking Soca to the top.
Pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, and how are we doing this afternoon?
Tuesday evening.
It is the first day of August 2023. It is my month. So the excitement starts from here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I wanted to start this evening's class by ensuring that I greet many of you guys. I just didn't get the opportunity to, because even while in the back I was dealing with a little technical issue. But however, we're up and we're ready to roll. Pleasant good afternoon to you, Red Girl Pascal. Glenda Robinson, good afternoon to you. Peter Francis, pleasant good evening to you. Gillian Noel, good evening to you. Maria Francis, good evening to you also. A pleasant good evening to all the persons that are already on my Facebook page. I want to say good afternoon to you. Yes, Miss Walcott, I know. It's just a different smile, right? It's August, man. A pleasant good evening to the people that are on my YouTube page. And I want to say good evening to Mr. Peter Francis again. I want to say good evening to Anna Barbara Thomas. Good evening to you. How are we doing this evening, ladies and gentlemen? It has been a few days since we haven't seen each other. Go ahead, shed the light. Let them know that Royalty James is on. Let them know that I am here this afternoon and I am ready to interact. We're ready to have a conversation. What have been happening in Grenada for the past few days that you all have not been telling me about. But however, there are things that I may need to tell you all about. So let's get started. Let's get into the conversation for this evening. And I pray that everybody, as I said, is doing well and their family and friends are okay. All right? So I just want to ensure that I kind of came into the studio a little bit late, I must confess. So I want to ensure that I get some things done properly before we start this evening's session. All right, so I think we're there. I want to say a pleasant good afternoon to the persons, the Calypsonian and different soca artists that are into the different final categories for this year's Carnival 2023. Persons that are into the groovy, persons that are into the Soca Monarch, persons that are into the Calypso Monarch, and I say best wishes to our kings, or queens, that they are carried to have on Majestic Sunday night. So I want to say congratulations to them. And a special congratulations that is going out to the House of Creation Veco Band. They would have won traditional mass last Saturday evening, out there in Victoria in St. Mark's. So I want to say good evening, and good evening to you, Charling, out there in the diaspora. You were working behind the scenes, and you were one of the persons who made all this possible. I want to say congratulations to them. Who are you supporting this year for Carnival? Who is your artist? There is so many things going on Facebook and different forum. I know I can speak to one person that I've been observing. I can see Miss Walcott. Miss Walcott, you up and heavy about your Bat Squad. I've been observing your Facebook page, and you're one of the persons that is Bat Squad full 100. But whoever it might be for this Carnival season, we want to say all the best and best wishes to each and every one of them. So go ahead right now, share it live. We're getting ready to jump into our conversations for this evening. Yeah. Miss Walcott is saying, one Dan, one king. Krong City it is. I can't say. I don't ready to openly, give any form of judgment on this. You understand me? Somebody say a praying man. I'm guessing he's speaking Terra, the governor, who is the defending Soca Monarch in Grenada. So let's see who it is. Kevin Mitchell is saying ace up. Let's see who it is, people. So let's share the live. We're about to have our conversation, and we want to ensure that in doing so, we reach as much people that we can. Somebody saying Bad Squad for life. Somebody saying draw near. So we have our different picks and so on. But I think a lot of us might be a little bit upset on the day. On the morning after Soca Monarch, we may not, our king or our favorite may not be the winner. But however, we are going to accept the results as is. At the end of this evening's program, I will let you all know my choices. I have choices for the Queen Show. I have choices for the Calypso Monarch, and I'm just not one of the persons who have not yet started to antagonize some people on Facebook. But however, we want to ensure that it is going to be a wonderful year. Somebody says, Prince, in the beginning you said your pick for this year is Dash. The only crown that leaving the present king is the Kaiso crown. Yeah, Monique Philippe, you see Monique is following me. Yeah, I had a choice for Dash because I really thought Dash was going to sing that new song he released, but however, he didn't, and so I kind of had a very slight shift in his, groovy song. But however, that is for the professionals who can make that judgment. But however, as I said, I would give my official, choices at the end of the class today. I find I'm being attacked now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our conversation. And we started this session, a conversation, which speaks to the true meaning of the word transformation and what the word transformation really means, all right? And you see, we want to get as serious as possible at this stage, all right? We want to get as serious as possible at this stage. Somebody saying, prayer request, please continue praying for my ministry here in Kenya. We're really passing through many challenges like lack of food, shelter, clothing, and lack of clean water. For the use of 35 children I do care for here in Kenya who are orphans. You're all so much welcomed of your support and prayer, all right? So somebody all the way out there in Kenya is making that request for prayer and whatever support we can give. That is always good to do. So persons, you can extend your prayer to the persons that is out there in Kenya, and they're going through whatever tough time that it might be, but always note that tough time never lasts. Tough people do. All right. So we pray that everything goes well for you and the persons that are out there in Kenya. We do know it's a challenging time throughout the length and breadth of this world. And so we ask that in times like these, we seek ye first the kingdom of God. All right. And I pray that everything turns out well for you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to get into the conversation. As I mentioned, what is the true meaning of the word transformation? And you know definitely that has been the quote-unquote agenda of this new administration, that the transformational agenda is what seeks to make Grenada a much better place. And when I go through and I found the true meaning of the word transformation, and I don't know if anybody has a different meaning, or I might have got the wrong meaning of the word, but having looked through Google and going through its Wikipedia, the meaning of the word transformation simply means a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. It says again, a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. Now, when you hear the word transformation, or even the meaning speaks as it relates to dramatic change, the meaning of the word or the phrase dramatic change means instant, right? A change that happens or comes about based on what would have happened, right? The positive impact or negative impact something may have on whatever, it is what you may consider to be a form of transformation, right? And so I listed just a few, and I want you all to assist me today in terms of listing maybe what I leave out, right? Because I want to do it as a before and now in terms of what we believe or what we should perceive to have seen done better because of what was campaigned upon, right? So I am going to list a few. I don't know if while I'm listing, some of you all may aid in in assisting me in naming a few. So before, there was a conversation that the health system in Grenada was messed up. That the health system under the past administration was bad. The transformation. What has been this transformation in the health sector for the past year and some months? Still a mess, and maybe even worsens. The health sector in Grenada have not seen any significant change. The health sector in Grenada, I believe, we're still hearing conversations surrounding things that we heard before. You understand me? So we ask, where has been the transformation within the Ministry of Health? Because we still hear of issues surrounding the ministry that we have heard of before. So I have not seen, and when it speaks of the transformation or the word transformation, we can say safely that we have not felt that effect of transformation within the Ministry of Health. Transformation. During the New National Party's administration reign, we saw youth program, youth initiatives, youth development. That was before. Now, because of transformation, what have we had? Nothing for youth. So, have you seen any significant transformation within the youth ministry? Transformation again. So we're wanting to ensure that when we pinpoint those places, whether or not we have seen that level of transformation, let us go back to the children that just joined ClassRoom. You understand me? They're stating, or the meaning of the word transformation means a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. You understand me? So I am just listing a few things in which we can try to jot our mind or try to put our minds together to see whether or not I am the one that have not seen that transformation, or it has done in secret, in secret. So we on to youth development. We, during the past administration, saw a lot of programs and initiatives that involved young people throughout the length and breadth of Grenada. Have we seen any form of transformation within the youth ministry? I can safely say no. Road and road network, better condition of roads. Remember, during the past administration, remember the road, the bad, the bad. Have we seen any form of improvement, ladies and gentlemen, within the development or the ensuring that our road conditions have been better? And I want to read one of the comments that somebody would have just put, and I just want to pass it. I heard you guys speaking on your program. Somebody saying, I heard you guys speaking on your program about the health issue, but I actually was there last week, and it was a total mess. I'm sorry for us Grenadians who speak without facts. The health system is a big failure. Thank God my cousin is alive today. All right? So that person is basically aiding in giving the information that he has not seen that transformation within the Ministry of Health. So we were speaking roads, right? Have you seen any form of improvement in road conditions, road improvement within the last year or so? Where have been the transformation within the development of the road system? I have yet to see that transformation. We're moving on to CBI. The CBI program during the past administration, it was said that it was one where Grenada's passport were being sold by persons within the past administration. And so they were mentioning that passport was given for the basic motive of economic gain, that you were selling for vote and they were selling for this and selling for that. And that was the past. In this present time, have you seen any form of transformation? Have you heard anything different? Were there any reconstruction or significant reconstruction of the program? Was anything implemented in terms of what was there to what is there now? Again, we await the transformation within the CBI program, because what we're hearing of late is that it has worsened, and the conversation as opposed to what we heard before has changed. Because I remember as a party in waiting, a list of things, a list of plans was outlined by the then candidate for the Tongue of St. George. She's presently sitting in the position as Minister of Legal Affairs. I remember during the campaign, there was a list of things in which they put together as it relates to what they wanted to see within the CBI program. A list of things, number of things that was placed for the Grenadian people. She sat alongside the past Prime Minister, Brother Tillman Thomas, while they outlined a number of things. And I think if my hands can, I want my hands to fall on that so that you can listen to that piece of clip. I want to go back to that clip. I want to see your best. I can get my hands on that clip to ensure that the information that I'm giving is accurate. Because the information that was given during that time was that the administration at the time wanted to see many different things within the CBI program. So let me just play it for you.
Therefore demands, NDC therefore demands that there must be substantial changes to the CBI law now. These changes must include: 1, making it a criminal offense punishable by long jail time to sell diplomatic passports. 2, making it mandatory for the names, addresses, and countries of origins of all persons applying for and obtaining CBI status to be published. 3. Making it illegal for government officials to invest in CBI-approved project. This is a clear conflict of interest. 4. Requiring stringent due diligence that is not influenced by government officials. 5. Removing some of the powers of the minister into the hands of an independent, qualified body. And 6. Barring persons acquiring CBI status from being able to vote in our elections.
No, you heard it yourself. 6 of the things in which this administration, prior to the election, that they were looking forward for the past administration to change in order to make the CBI program one that is more transparent. And you heard them. You heard all 6 of them. They laid out nicely. Nice. It sound good, eh? They sound real good. But have we seen any form of transformation to the CBI program? Or have we heard of more incorruption or corrupt practice or more ministers being involved or name calling with persons affiliated with government? 2 ministers, one holding the highest position, name that was agents within the state to do businesses in terms of the CBI program. All the nice things outlaid. All of the nice things outlaid there.
He therefore demands,
especially this one,
that there must be substantial changes to the CBI law now.
Listen one.
These changes must include 1. Making it a criminal offense punishable by long jail time to sell diplomatic passports.
So we expect an investigation anytime soon because there are allegations. Even the Prime Minister of the state, whose number and email was an agent while sitting in the position as Prime Minister. While sitting in the position as Prime Minister, his name was recorded as an agent within the state in terms of the CBI program. So this long jail time in which that was mentioned, somebody saying he's still an agent. He said he removed the email. Remember he said he removed this email? Let me go on to point 2.
2. Making it mandatory for the names, addresses, and countries of origins of all persons applying for and obtaining CBI status.
Right. So you want to know where they come out, their citizenship status, what kind of lifestyle they have left in the country, the world, and most significantly, countries affiliated with Grenada have had issues with issuing of Russian passport. This is a conversation that have started since the start of the Ukraine-Russia war. And so a lot of countries would have placed a certain bar on countries issuing passports to the persons of that origin, of that country. But however, we're hearing conversations that a significant amount of persons who have obtained passports through the CBI program in recent months, weeks, have been persons with Russian citizenship. Recent conversations we're talking about here. Give me more points, Sister Claudette.
To be published. 3. Making it illegal for government officials to invest in CBI-approved projects.
Papa. Not me that say, look here
in
again.
CBI-approved project. This is a clear conflict for government officials to invest. It's illegal for government officials to invest in CBI-approved project. This is a clear conflict of interest.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, now listen to me. We have had 3 government officials. 2, as I mentioned, I aforementioned, sits in the chair holding ministerial role. The one, the most highest of the state. And this was conversations. I'm talking, this is conversations prior to it. This is the method. That was the engine of the transformational agenda. This is conversations while there were a government in waiting. Right? This is a conversation coming from, at the time, the NDC camp. You understand me? Now the Dubai flight that was all cost paid, man. That basically surrounded a CBI conversation. Remember, the most recent travel to Canada, on his return, the press conference that was held was to address the issue of the crimes in the state. And so, to give us information as it relates to his travel to Canada. Remember this? So, it was very important to tell us what was the travel in Canada about. But funny enough, there was no press conference, no debriefing, or the House of Parliament yet to have been briefed as it relates to the travel to Dubai that surrounded the conversation of CBI and some party who was interested in the CBI conversation. So you understand how it is convenient to them to address issues and how it is not convenient to not address issues when it comes of the state and when it comes to what is personal gain. Because you can't say to me at this stage that you have this information. This is why you were waiting. This is why you were a government in waiting. Let me go against Sister Claudette.
4. Requiring stringent due diligence that is not influenced by government officials. 5. Removing some of the powers of the minister into the hands of an independent, qualified body.
No, that again, and I'm being very honest here, people, I am ignorant as it relates to that. So anybody might know, might also inform me, help educate me. Has there been a formed group for the CBI program throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique? I am being very ignorant here. I don't know. I have not heard any information about it, so I can't speak to it. So maybe somebody might have heard. I didn't hear. So if you heard, then tell me. Let me go against Sister Claudette.
And 6, barring persons acquiring CBI status from being able to vote in our elections.
No, so we listened it. We listened it and then we go back through it again. Now, this, as I said, was while this government was in waiting. You hear all the nice things that was laid out? All the nice things that was laid out. And mind you, this was suggestions, this was demands made to the then NNP administration as it relates to the CBI program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they sit in the chair. The individual there sits as the person, as the Minister of Legal Affairs. It takes her ministry to make such implementation and suggestion through the House of Parliament. But they didn't want that. Immediately as they got to do anything in terms of legislation, what did they do? Remember what the first piece of law they run behind? They didn't run behind making adjustments to the CBI program. No. That wasn't on the agenda at the time. They didn't jump to making the changes in which he just outlined so vividly and comprehensively. No. They ensure that they run to make legislative adjustment to a piece of law whereby they could make people hush them out. So they run behind the data protection bill. They didn't talk about making such implementations or suggestions or making that formal change or suggestions to the CBI program. No. What was important then was to ensure Grenadians hush them out. So the data protection bill was what was the first piece of legislation that was placed in the House of Parliament that the government could have passed. But as a government in waiting, you outlined so nicely all the changes that you wanted to see done within the specific ministry, the specific program. But yet still, transformation to the CBI program, nothing. We're moving on. Political affiliation within the RGPF. That was before we heard about it during the election. That how much changes and how much police stations and how much persons that would, so many things would have been done differently. That was when they were government in waiting. What has been the transformation to the RGPF? Ladies and gentlemen, I can report to you, sadly, it is at a worst state. And I can tell you that because I have fellas and friends within there. It have worsened in terms of political affiliation. Persons believing they are it. You understand me? And on that conversation, I want to say this, ladies and gentlemen. It is important that I say this. I am hearing conversations. It have again reached my news desk that there is an individual within the state that has no respect for the police because somebody took it on the onus to slash the tires of a person that hold high excellence within the RGPF, holds a very high position, and that person slashed all 4 tires. So if that person could slash all 4 tires of a hierarchy within the force, that person is a criminal. I'm wondering if CID has that information and that investigation is being carried out. This person or persons need to be brought to justice. Hey, I mean, come on. That person have no respect. How could you tell me that you know the man holds a high position in the state, a police officer, hierarchy in the force, and you slash all 4 tires? And I don't know, well, then again, there is if the person make a report. I have to call the nearest police station in where I heard the incident happened. I want to know if you make a report. Boss, did you go and make a report? Your tires were slashed. That is damage to property. That is a serious offense. You cannot tell me that within, and listen to me, that shows that there is a serious or a significant rise in criminal practices within the state. That is what it shows. Because persons doesn't even have respect for the police. Person does not even have respect for the police and the police property. Well, the person almost caused harm to the police. Because you cannot tell me that a high excellent officer, hierarchy within the force, all 4 tires slashed, damage to property, and nobody has not reported that. That there are no news. Come on, we need to do better than that. It shows that there is a rise in crime and it is starting to come up against the police. This person need to, listen to me. If by the next session I don't hear the man make a report, I'm going to make a report for him. We have to know who slashed the man tire. You can't disrespect persons in high positions like that. You understand me? So, remember, before the election, somebody saying, remember they took 1 gun, not to mention the PM security, they beat up. Transformational agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking. And as I said, we're going through the transformation agenda and we're going through the different programs and the different things in which we had before and at what state it is in now. Right? So we're moving on. We spoke of the political affiliation during the NNP time. They said too much of NNP. Kid Mitchell getting involved in too much of the RGPF. And now we have heard that it has worsened. Persons have been demoted. I've heard of everything else as a cry within the time of the past administration's reign. All kind of thing. Men say, no, they transform me way and I don't like to go there. But I've never heard of the level of disrespect shown to officers, especially those of a high-ranking position in terms of the demotion. Absolute disrespect. Absolute disrespect, and it was done simple on political affiliation. Because I'm going to say this again, and nobody telling me within the RGPF that Mr. Pierre Tafawa does not have merit. And he was demoted. And nobody telling me this. Because if there is one person to take an example from within the RGPF in terms of merit, it must be Tafawa. If anybody else within the RGPF and you want to have an example as to what merit and what a police officer should be, or how a police officer should carry his or herself, one must take example from that of Tafawa. And I don't talk. We're moving on. Before the transformational agenda took its course, we had the debushing program. What do we have now? A minimal amount of anything for the people on the breadline, or nothing at all. Because they stated again that there would have been some changes to the program. They stated that they would have made certain shift to the debushing program. They were hearing a conversation about 804. What have you heard? What transformation have you heard? Even if they change the name. Even if they change the name. Let me read. Somebody said the government is very, very disrespectful. They fired the manager in the stadium today. Hold on, wait until I get the news. I've heard that within the pipeline. I like for the news to bring it for me because I want to ensure that when I'm giving information here, I want you to go and say, Prince, play the clip. You have that as a fact. And so last week, even when persons were mentioning to me about Mr. Husbands, I said, hold on, let me get the facts. And that is what I like to do, because at the end of the day, people, you don't want to give them nothing to fall on. They're waiting for me or somebody else on some program to say something out of the way. So to sue. But let me tell them, bang does boss. So the debushing program, the past administration, we saw that they gave a little debushing program nearly every, I think it was done quarterly. At least two or three gangs went out. Because remember there was a time when they were doing debushing, they was doing drains, and they were doing overhanging. I don't know how many of you remember this time when I remember just after Ivan 2006 thereabout. I remember when there were programs of debushing, there was persons for debushing, then there were drainage, persons go and do drainage, and there were persons to do overhang. Right? So that is what is since the agenda has started. Since the start of the transformational agenda, what has happened? What significance have you seen? What implementation, because they said debushing was degrading people in Grenada. But what has they implemented, ladies and gentlemen, to basically suffice for people or poor people? And you know what is funny? Some of the supporters saying that Kit Mitchell and persons are supporting the NP just start to think about poor people. But how are you hypocrites so? When all you were the one that saying all Kit Mitchell giving poor people was debushing. So how was he not supporting or helping poor people when you all were the one saying all he doing is giving them a little money work and giving them a little debushing? Nothing to upgrade themselves. But you see the level of hypocrisy does come back and tell you. Because he does study poor people. That is what all you're stating now. But before, all you were mentioning, all he giving poor people is debushing and the money work. So how all of a sudden he was not studying poor people, and then to fancy or to like your people, you want to just mention that? Because before all you're saying was he giving poor people money work and debushing. But now he speaks on it, and all the balling were wicked Mitchell is studying poor people. But then all you say is debushing and the money is all he gave. So he wasn't studying poor people, or was he studying poor people? Transformational agenda, nothing. We're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. The seed program, what we saw before was that there was a seed program with an amount of $450 given to the poor and vulnerable. Given to who? The poor and vulnerable. The poor and vulnerable. The same Kid Mitchell that speaks about poor people. But he gave them $450. But he didn't like them. So all you say. But this administration, through this transformational agenda, what did they do? They removed $150. So somebody giving me $100, they come out from where they is and they put you there and you're not giving me nothing. Who am I supposed to now think that was for me? So $450, I had it. I had $450. I was being given $450. Some remove, not just removing $150, some remove from the list in its entirety. So where does that leave the individual who was receiving? Right? Because the program, the seed program, was initiated for the poor and vulnerable. The same Kid Mitchell that did not like poor people. The same Kid Mitchell, hence the reason why he speaks on poor people today, and the same NDC persons are asking, but since when Kid Mitchell like poor people? But he had the Bushin program for poor people. He had Imani program for poor people. He had the seed program in which he was giving $450 for poor people. But what has been the transformational agenda for the poor people? So he initiated so many things for poor people in which this administration are simply removing, constantly removing. And you say to me, he didn't like poor people at all. Wicked Mitchell just jump up now and talk about poor people and he like poor people. He lie. But I can give you or outline things in which he initiated. All your wash program, the toilet and bathroom program that was initiated under his administration was for who? Poor people. So if he really did not like poor people, but you like them so much, what have you initiated so far to aid or to basically cause us to forget what Dr. Mitchell did, his administration did for poor people? So the seed program, $450. Some removed in its entirety. Some $150 was removed. So my question is, what? Where? How come? Help me to see the transformation and its agenda. We're moving on. I remember before, just late last year, and even by the past reporting from the outer wall as it relates to our crime state in Grenada, the past before, we saw a minimal crime rate throughout the length and breadth of Grenada. Transformational agenda took its course. We have seen a significant increase. Not my words. Not my words. Not my words. And I want all you to ensure that when all you're going and all you dropping the information, all you say to them, it was not Prince that said. Not Prince that say so. There are information, there are documentations to help. You understand me? It was not me that say so. The press conference released by the Royal Grenada Police Force mentioned that they are seeing or have seen a significant increase in criminal practices. So it's not my word. Not my word. Right? So we have seen any form of transformation there? I would say yes. But it has not been a transformation for the better. Because remember, transformation is a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. And so, if we want to speak criminal practices, we are first time seeing that significant or dramatic change in Grenada when it comes to the level of crimes and criminal practices that we're seeing. All right? I must still, and that's me, people, that can come out in me, and I'm not a hypocrite. For the past 2 to 3 weeks, I have heard very little as it relates to criminal practices. Although there is 1 or 2 little things happening here and there, I am sure that for the past, 14 days or more, we have not recorded anything serious within the state. And that is good. That is good. Grenada belongs to you and I. And so, when good things happen, I say good things happen. I am not going to be a hypocrite as it relates to me just not wanting to be a part or supporting an administration. No, that's not how I operate. When they do good, I give them the kudos. Hats off. I don't know if it was any form of significant, implementation or that has happened within the RGPF, or maybe some conversations from whomever or the powers that be. But however, we have seen a significant change. I can't say I have seen more persons or the presence of the police more within different areas, and I'm seeing different patrols and so on. So that is good. That is good. And I always say to you all, whenever something of that nature happens, I am not going to be on my program and for hating a party or wanting to sound dumb. I'm not going to hear jumping. Oh, they do good and they do good. If something good happens, you mention something good happens. All right. So we're moving on. And the final point, and as I said, I don't know if anybody has any, but that is those I decided I would pick out today. Press briefings before. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember I have seen every single minister within the past administration holding 15 seats in government. I believe I have seen nearly every person, even senators, within a press briefing. No, it is alarming that there is this friend I have. She normally does taxi. She's just around the airport area. And just about 3 weeks ago, she asked me, who's the Minister of Tourism? I am not kidding. She does taxi in Grenada. And she asked me the question, who is the Minister of Tourism? Because she said to me, I have not, she's speaking we and making a general statement, would not have seen that individual since the position was given. This is a sad reality, ladies and gentlemen. This is a sad, sad reality. At the end of the day, the persons that help within the tourist system especially needs to be spoken to on a regular. I'm not speaking every day, you can't. But at least sometimes in your busy schedule that you took the last time day and go and stand up on the airport and wait for King Jaffe Joffa to come back. I think sometimes take your vehicle, drive down to the airport, converse with the persons or the taxi men or whomever is there. Because as I mentioned in my last program, there's a clarion call at the airport that persons are really not getting the audience needed. It is to my understanding also that application has been made to even meet with the Prime Minister, and yet still a conversation has not been held. So the persons are feeling left out on the airport. And other incidents that are happening up down there, and persons are saying that is like they all the way down in the south. So maybe they're closer to Trinidad. So then Trinidad may be able to assist or answer their problems before Grenada does. All right? And we don't like to hear that. All right? We spoke, as I said, as it relates to press briefings. We had number of press briefings. Every week, you could see somebody, new questions being asked. They do it now, like if they feel like something happens, we can't talk about it. Press briefings now, something have to happen to have a press briefing. To this administration, you hold the position in which you made application to hold. And so the people found it right to give you the job. You sit in a position in which you hold, but the power that can cause you to remain there or lose it is the power that comes from the people. So if you're given a job to conduct the business of the state, the expectation from you is that you give regular interactions, regular conversations must be conducted. As we said, the briefing must be given. The people put you there. So they expect to hear from you. All right? The people expect to hear from you. And when the people are hearing from you, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just indicate that when the people are hearing from you, they don't want to hear responses like this.
Mr. Ron Redhead. I want to direct it to Mr. Ron Redhead. I would like to find out if Monday and Tuesday will be holiday. Emancipation, because remember before time it was Monday and Tuesday, and then they took it out and they only give us Monday, and I think they promised to give us back Tuesday, no? I think so. I think so. Yes, I think so. So, I'm not serious. I believe that. So I would like to find out. I would like to know if we are getting Monday and Tuesday. I would like to find out that.
All right, I'll ask Minister to answer the question on the holiday.
Sister Anne-Marie, good night. Let me just say good night, St. George Northwest, lovely people of St. George Northwest. As it relates to the question on the holiday, Monday, August 7th, will be the holiday. The Tuesday, in relation to that, the conversation is still ongoing. I can tell you we have to manage the amount of bank holidays that we have. And in relation to a specific question, I can't recall making that promise, but you know, sometimes man does say all kind of thing when they feeling nice. So I can't remember that, but if I did, I do apologize, but that is a
I don't want to play more of that because I might end up somewhere where I don't want to end up. So you heard for yourself. Basically, listen to the contradiction. And I like to break down things for all, you know. Listen to the contradiction in his conversation. Listen to that.
In relation to that, the conversation is still ongoing.
The conversation is still ongoing so that they could get the holiday the Tuesday. The conversation is ongoing because of the holiday on Tuesday. You want to hear the contradiction now? Listen to the contradiction.
I do apologize, but that is a conversation that we have ongoing, and hopefully we can come to a conclusion. Man does say all kind of thing when they feeling nice, so I can't remember that.
So you can't remember mentioning about a holiday the Tuesday. So why is the conversation you're having about the holiday the Tuesday? You listening to the contradiction? You having a conversation about the holiday the Tuesday, but you saying to the person that you cannot recall mentioning about giving the holiday the Tuesday. So why are you having a conversation about something that you never spoke about before? You're having a conversation. Let me break it down for you again. I'm the person, because you see, when people are speaking, and I want all you to get into this habit. You see me? I was going to people tonsils when they're speaking. Now, if you're saying to me, Prince, and you tell me, oh, give me $100, and I'm answering you and I'm telling you, man, I don't have the money on me now, you know. I don't have the money on me now, you know. But I'll give you. And then you turn in and tell me, I can turn back and tell you, but I never tell you I'll give you $100. That is contradictory. So the conversation that you're having, what is the basis of the conversation? Not because you're wanting to apply to have that day a holiday. The reason why you're still having conversations about having the holiday at Tuesday is because you mentioned it before. You mentioned it before, Honorable Minister. Hence the reason why she jotted your mind on mentioning that, didn't you say that we might get the holiday? This is what you state. This is what she's stating. So you stated that we might get the holiday. You're answering her, telling her, well, the conversation is ongoing, but you're trying to look at how many bank holidays you have. right? But you go on to contradict yourself by mentioning that you can remember saying that. So on the basis of why are you having the conversation? What is the conversation based on for the holiday? Not because you mentioned it or would have mentioned it before. And hear the conversation, because when man mouth sweet. So it only goes to show you guys that during the campaign, a lot of them mouth is sweet. A lot of things promised during the campaign is because of sweet mouth. It's not my words. Not my words.
Holidays that we have. 7th will be the holiday. The Tuesday,
not me
in relation to that, the conversation is still ongoing. I can tell you we have to manage the amount of bank holidays that we have. And in relation to a specific question, I can't recall making that promise, but you know, sometimes man does say all kind of thing when they feeling nice.
So you promise somebody a whole bank holiday because you're feeling nice. May his soul rest in peace. Table knock. I never hear that yet. It goes to show, ladies and gentlemen. It goes to show the moral of these people. It goes to show the moral. Would you as a minister of government even answer somebody by telling them you maybe say it because your mouth is sweet, or your mouth, when man feeling nice, they just say, okay. I mean, that is a response. Somebody holding a ministerial position, somebody answering a question about a bank holiday. This is not somebody asking you a personal question as it relates to your personal capacity. This is somebody seeking an answer in which your ministry is responsible for making through the House of Parliament. And the answer goes to speak on because you're feeling nice. I guess that's the same thing that happens when you sell the vehicle too. You're feeling nice. I mean, you can grasp. You can grasp it. You need to you need to be more professional in your response. We spoke about the bank holidays, but ma'am, you know, maybe I can't recall it, but however, if I did recall doing so, I want to apologize based on my ministry. And so we continue to have conversations so that the day could pass. But you're feeling nice. You feel nice. I want to say something, but in program, I tell all you others, want to ensure that I respect the people and the persons that are on my program. And so I would not at no time try my best to be derogative or obscene in any kind of way. But it does force you to want to say things. You understand me? But you should answer like that. I don't think it's one of the best response that I've heard. I mean, he was going good all along. I could understand that you're having conversation, but you can respond to a citizen and tell them that. Can respond to a citizen and tell them because you're feeling nice. Because you basically know contradicting all that you said before. So now your response to everything that you can't remember, because I can recall that you mentioning that this year, I think the 19th or so, was a conversation about a holiday. Because you mentioned it sometime earlier up in the year last year, that I think October 19th, and I'm subjected to correction, that you mentioned that you're going to have conversation about October 19th being a holiday. And then now look at somebody mentioning about Emancipation Day. So you're promising holidays, and you know that there is so many bank holidays that your administration is be looking at, and you're just loosely speaking about giving holidays. And then when persons ask you questions, you respond in such a dotish manner. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yes, October 19th, look, somebody saying, so it's not me as alone here. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, mandated job given to this administration, speaking on transformational agenda. And we have seen absolutely no significant change. What we basically might have seen is maybe we're on the same path. Basically, we're still on the same path, right? Some of the things that I've mentioned, and I try to do those things because I said it's things that could change that does not require no boosting of money. You understand me? It's just simply getting involved. Good night to you, Mandy. And doing those changes. Health, as I said, youth development, the roads in Grenada, the CBI program, the political affiliation within the RGPF, the bushing, seed program, crime, press briefing. Doesn't require money. So we expect to see some form of transformation within those things. I mean, health and the CBI and so on, we know it's an economic drive. But you come in and tell the country last year, and I want to know the update on that invoice. And you see the people are not having briefing. They're not having press briefing. Because we are into what, month 8? And we want to know whether or not that invoice that was left by the past administration was paid by this administration. I am dying to know that. 2 questions I still have to be answered. This one and the unemployment rate in Grenada. We're speaking as it relates to the World Bank or whomever doing the assessment, the economic assessment the last time. I don't know about unemployment. A lot of persons, and even you're hearing, and look at somebody just mentioned it, and I want to mention that. You can tell me so many. It started with the manager on the airport. So many persons who held managerial positions are simply retiring. Just leaving. One of the allegations surrounding the gentleman at Nawasa speak to the disrespect that was being shown at him from members of the board. Meetings and so on are being held and persons are blatantly not informing him. So I don't understand what your transformation agenda really is, whether or not to get persons out of the jobs and the job places more. All right. Somebody saying just like they promised to pay pension and burst the treasury, now they having bingo and show abroad to make back the money. I don't know. Wow. I thought for a moment Makosa decided he wasn't moving. Right. We have a PM. What don't know if he's so never does want to censor those things are there because but anyway, is the opinion of the writer. We don't know if the PM, I don't know if the PM don't know if he's straight or he bent. So that is how they have the country confused. All right. Somebody say right now the police block off Bonnet Bridge, big hole is no good. No, the Bonnet Bridge conversation, and today I decided that I believe today, watch me. Let me tell you what is the personal issue I have with the Bonnet Bridge. Now, remember, in the stint of the parliamentary rep, Ms. Clarice Modest, so many things were said. That included the now senator in St. Mark's. I remember his friend being his Facebook friend, and we had back and forth throughout the years as it relates to so many things that they pointed out. So many things that they pointed out. Every time they're on Facebook, something in St. Mark's just wasn't right. I am shocked that after 1 year and some months, that St. Mark's has worsened. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Anything happening in St. Mark's right now is because Dr. Clarice Modest left it there to be done. And I get emotional. Because at the end of the day, many of them sat aside and run them out. Not talk, run them out. And all there was on the conversation about poultry farm and shrimp farm and whatever farm. She improved the livelihood of many Victorians and St. Markians. And that was the work of Dr. Modest in St. Mark's. That I could say. Infrastructural changes you might not have seen. But the resources given to people to improve themselves in St. Mark's is a significant and applauded effort made by Clarice Modeste. And they know that. The bridge to be built, Clarice Modeste. The renovation of the medical station, Clarice Modeste. The improvement of the daycare center and library, Clarice Modeste. They would not mention those things to you guys. But telling you, oh, St. Mark's, and he never had nothing in St. Mark's. Young people involved in so many things within the parish of St. Mark's. The development within young people. Clarice pushed she had in her very own pocket in St. Mark's. I don't asking all you, I'm telling all you, she's my friend. But at the end of the day, it is shameful. It is shameful that even a conversation the other day with the Fisher folks, even the conversation in recent days with the Fisher folks, and you're telling them they have money, they could fix in the back day. And as soon as they take their money and they fix in the back day, you come with camera and posting after dialogue with the Fisher folks. Look at what you do. You don't do nothing. You haven't done anything. And now any little thing you're going to like a funeral, you're going to any little session in Victoria, any little seminar in Victoria, they sit down, man. They chest high. They chest high. They have nothing else to do but to attend that. Dr. Modeste held a ministerial position. And so many of our colleagues, even when they come to St. Mark's, they still mentioning it. That this is one woman that fought for St. Mark's. And she did it wholeheartedly. Now you give us a senator. We don't know where you walk in. We don't know if he walk in. We don't know what to go and ask him to assist us with. Other ministries. We open the medical station. Brother Lacrette is the only one that show up. The Prime Minister himself. And I hear they say they had chair line up the other day in traditional mass for them to sit down. I don't know how much of them showed up. It saddens me. And you come telling me, oh, we have 3 years and 4 years more to do. People, the first cut is the deepest. When a man show you who you are from the onset, don't take in your mind that he go change. Take what he give you. Old people say, when you know people in the day, don't take light and shine them in the night. So if that is how they start, and still you're going on some of them Facebook pages because I'm following them too, most they could do is block me. You're going on the Facebook pages and you hear they still speaking about 22 years. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go on AJ Williams' page. Still speaking about 22 years. And I want to look for it and read it for you. Saddens me. It's like they have nothing else. Because they're still on the blame game. They're still on the blame game. Going on the page and following them. They're on all of them page. Block me if all you want. 2 choices. That's his words. I'm reading it. 2 choices, and I quote. A system where you depend on a man for a fish every day, even after 20 years. 2, a system which teaches you how to fish so you can be independent. Should we promote a system where we boast about the poor and vulnerable, or should we promote a system where less fortunate persons can elevate themselves through land acquisition and free education up to the tertiary level, to name a few? I'll tell you something, people. In this world, as a young man, one thing I learned, everybody can get everything. Our system, and I speak Caribbean when I speak system, we need the travel workers. We need the bushers. There are persons that are going to be under the the borderline or the level of poverty line. That has nothing to do sometimes with government. Family was poor, and yeah, you try to improve. Persons try to improve. When you're in America, ladies and gentlemen, and the broader world, the opportunity to become rich is much better than our system here. A man could be homeless today, and tomorrow, out abroad, he's a rich man because of opportunities that are set. So he's speaking as it relates to educating people. Let me tell you something, people. There are some people that just don't cut it. There are some people that just don't cut it. You can't run from that. There are people that just can't grasp. There are people that just won't be able to comprehend, no matter how much money and free education that you give them. You feel many other governments didn't try to improve the lifestyle of others? Many persons were given board and galvanized and whatever to improve their lifestyle and livelihood and living. And what some of them did, they sell it. The system may intend to improve, but sometimes the individual does not want to uplift his or herself. And so what you find happening, ladies and gentlemen, is that there are some people that are just going to be left behind. There are some people that are just not going to cut it. And hence the reason why there is always going to be the conversation of poor and vulnerable. You can't change that. There are always going to be the conversations of poor and vulnerable by any administration, come and go. Because the system in itself may intend to improve, but the individual doesn't. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've gone way over my time today, way over, because there was another conversation that I wanted to have about number 10, but I believe I'll give number 10 a special day. I'll give number 10 a special day, because you see, sometimes when you're wrong moral, you see it's sad that when you are wrong moral and people with moral, you can see it in you. Funny enough, and be honest, when you are wrong a group of people, you understand me? When you're wrong a group of people that have moral and standards, like you're there somewhere and you know your custom going in Alkena ghetto party, and then somebody brings you to a nice dinner. Your atmosphere, your behavioral pattern changes because you are wrong what we call high excellence people. But you see, when you leave from morality and a wrong standard, and you go and incorporate yourself with, as we were saying in local terminology, Lego beast, you tend to show your true self or what was bottled up inside. And so what you're thinking that might be boastful is shameful. But we leave that conversation, ladies and gentlemen, for another day. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wonderful, wonderful evening. I don't want to wait until tomorrow to say this. So, and I know I really want to be as consistent as I can when it comes to the classroom, because there's some persons that look forward to it. And then some people like, oh gosh, Prince, on this evening, boy. But however, tomorrow is a very, very special day for my lovely wife. She would be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. And so I want to extend happy birthday to my wonderful wife and dear James. And to all the people that are in the classroom, go ahead, say happy birthday to my wife. And more than likely, I may not do class tomorrow. I'm thinking about doing a Facebook Live in the morning that I might do, but I'm still looking at it because you know how the mornings normally run with the buzz and the Real FM programs. So I'm still looking at it, but however, definitely tomorrow I would not be on air in the classroom because my wife is celebrating her birthday tomorrow, and so I want to give her a nice little treat, be a good husband. So I may not have class tomorrow evening, but I would not say that you all would not see me at all tomorrow. But I want to say that however it may be, on Thursday, you will again see me, all right? So, to my beautiful wife, I want to say this openly, that the world can hear that I love you, and I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful happy birthday tomorrow, right? And I would attempt to make it as enjoyable as I can tomorrow. I think I want to do breakfast in the morning, as opposed to have some bread day that I bake Saturday. So maybe I would toast it, man, a nice or something. But that's just humor. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to enjoy the remainder of your guys' evening. The person on my YouTube page, I want to say good afternoon to you. And somebody say they're playing jab over there. All right, persons, do have a safe carnival. Please do have a safe carnival. We want to be talking to you after the carnival season and not about you. All right. So, what are we going to do now before we leave, ladies and gentlemen? I want to ensure that I go through my ads. Just before I leave, I want to ensure that I go through my ads. So, the Sassy and Sexy team, they're saying thank you. They had themselves a wonderful cruise the other day. So, they would have had that event. And so, they want to say thank you to the persons who celebrated that event with them. The St. David Secondary School, remember, they are doing their 43rd anniversary, which starts on the 6th and ends on the 17th. So be a part of that. Next Monday, the 7th of August, Hardfet, the Ladig Organization for Development, they are doing Hardfet Day Cruise. $70 gets you on the inside. It is aboard the Rum Runner 2. So be there. All right, staggering the day cruise. That's Carnival Thursday. Don't forget it. That big one goes down. Dash and Boise would be aboard. $100 gets you on the Rum Runner 2. It will be a set of mass. I would be there. Would you? I would be there. The back to school drive on Point Foundation. Don't forget, you can give your stuff to them and they would receive niceties. A back to school drive to assist schools in Grenada. All charitable donations are welcome and are tax deductible. You can contact Kati on 347-262-6818. Also, new face promotion, Carnival Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, out there in New York on 38 East Avenue. That's 96 between Rutland and East New York. They are having a barbecue. However, all you need to do is bring a supply and you're on the inside. Somebody said the buzz was buzzing this morning. That's good. I want to be with my brethren, Mosquito Man. MCA promotion, wasted pre-Labor Day send-off. That would be on the 20th of August. And that would be another boat ride. Young Mad. No, Young Song, yes. Sail, they start at 1 p.m. and they end at 6. All right. That would be aboard, I think I'm seeing the Embassy. $80 gets you on the inside. All right. So don't forget to be a part of this. And to my proud sponsor of the program, G Buggers. Today's burger, the fish burger, is what's on the menu today. Don't forget, you can go down there on Wall Street and get yourself a burger today. You can call them on 536-7375 and you can get your burger. The fish burger is only $20. Only $20. Glenda Robinson. Are you Grenadian? Right. Glenda Robinson is saying, please big up Sheldon. He shook the ground last night with Miss George. Yeah. Well, once we come firing. All right. So, Glenda Robinson, you're Grenadian? I am about to give away a burger. Right? I'm about to give away a burger. I think, no, I'm supposed to go to my YouTube page. The last time I gave out a burger, it was on my Facebook page. Yeah. So my YouTube page is the person that's supposed to get a burger. All right? Baby Daddy. Yeah, baby daddy is always on. Baby daddy is always on. Baby daddy, are you Grenadian? If you're Grenadian, you are the winner of a bugger. But however, that is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to call a name. If you're not in Grenada, you can call somebody here that is local and you can give away the bugger. Give them the number 536-7375, because if I'm going to sift as to who's in Grenada or not, then I may not be able to get you the program, all right? So, baby daddy, on my YouTube page, you are the winner of a bugger. You can go down to G Buggers and let them know that you were listening to the Classroom program and you got yourself a bugger, all right? If you're not in Grenada, call someone, give them the number 536-7375 and let them know that you won a bugger. All right? Oh my goodness. All right. So it was for my Facebook page that I got the last time. So it's my YouTube page. So congratulations to baby daddy. Don't forget, tomorrow we may not have class. We will not have class. We may not, because I would be celebrating that wonderful day with my wonderful wife. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to say a pleasant good evening and just play this before I leave. All right.
Grenada, this is not a drill. This one is for real. The biggest day cruise is about to touch down on Thursday, August 10th, 2023. The Rum Runner 2 Grenada. Get ready as Big Slice and Fredge Promotions present the biggest day cruise of the year. Staggering. Going down on the Rum Runner 2 of Toronto, Canada. Soul Vibes, also from Toronto. Ricky Sound and Grenada's very best, Black Storm, Shortleg, DJ Smiley, and Bomb Squad. Also Grenada's biggest names in soca will be there. The lyrical genius Dash and the hit maker himself, Boise. Staggering! The Day Cruise, Thursday, August 12th on both the Rum Runner 2. Get your tickets now for $100 at Brandon at the bus terminal. Also Chucky's Bar and Go to Fair. Boarding time 12 noon. We take sale at 1 p.m. Hey, make sure you can handle all your drinks now. Staggering, the Day Cruise is sponsored by Go to Fair, The Automotive Warehouse, Dark Blue Energy Drink, Duty Free Caribbean, Roberts Wholesale and Retail, JC Trading, Carib, and Coca-Cola. Staggering, the Day Cruise, powered by Small Close Sound System. Grenada, this is not a drill. This one is for
Yo, it's Shiny, and I'm simply saying, big up DJ Soca Monarch.